Hello everyone, TP here, and today we're gonna dabble into Season 11. Now, I did mention that Season 11 might be an improvement upon Season 10, or be worse than Season 10. Well, let's go through today's list and see the results. Sir Handel in charge. Just go watch the Unlucky Tug's opinions on this, because everything I'm gonna say here is basically what he said. Literally nothing happens in the episode. Like, it doesn't lead to any climax. It's just nothing. Like, I mean, I watched this when I was a kid, and I didn't mind it back then. But now looking at it, it's just nothing. Like Sir Handel just doesn't get reprimanded for it. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, Hit. Also, should I mention the fact, Hit, you wanted Sir Handel to be the wise, old, responsible character and take up the lead that Scarlowe and Renea should have taken. But now you're just doing the complete... Now Sir Handel's just doing the complete opposite and acting horribly out of character again. I mean, you know Sir Handel has been a prick, like all of you know that season 4 was when Sir Handel was a prick, and he didn't care about learning a lesson. So I guess that could apply here. I don't know, but it can just be really out of character, despite the fact, like, since Hit wanted Sir Handel to be the wise, old, responsible, mature character, only for it to go completely 180 on itself and just ruin his character again. 0 out of 10. Scarlowe storms through. Wow, these Scarlowe episodes just keep getting worse. Like, seriously, I hate this one. Like, Scarlowe is scared of rain. Why? Just why? Like, every time I see Scarlowe scared like this, it always just gets worse. Like, first, I mean, yeah, he was afraid of an old bridge, like, that's fairly reasonable. And then he acts like a childish idiot in going up the winch. He then is scared of the wharf, and now he's scared of rain. Well, what I mean by scared of the wharf, he's probably scared of noise or something. Man. I'm censoring loud noises, but I would not say, like, I would not be at this level, honestly. And don't get me wrong, I am not afraid of, like, I dislike rain, but I wouldn't say I was afraid of it. And basically, Scarlowe's character here is just basically going to be Henry's in, like, the later CGI series, where he's literally afraid of the rain, portrayed in The Adventure Begins. And basically every other episode, almost every other appearance Henry has before this. Thankfully, that was fixed in Season 20, but we're not talking about Henry, we're talking about Scarlowe. But yeah, this episode just sucks with a burning passion. 0 out of 10. Ding-a-ling. Yeah, this is probably the worst Freddy episode I have ever seen. Like, or should I say, I have ever heard. Because not only is it a boring 3 strikes formula episode, as is the case with most of the Hit era episodes, but it is also so annoying. Like, Freddy's little phrase, like, ding-a-ling, ding-along, whatever the heck he says, just gets very annoying throughout the course of the episode, and the narration, honestly, isn't that good. I'm just getting sick of these episodes. Can we just get something different, please? I'm getting sick of talking about these episodes. 0 out of 10, this episode sucks. Thomas and the Lighthouse. Worst Thomas episode of the entire season, no doubt. Like, Thomas, do you think it's safe? Like, actually, no. Yeah, Thomas is kind of an idiot in this episode. But the transportation of a glass light bulb it was just handled really unsafe. Like why carry it in the flat open when you could just put it in like some sort of box or something? Or better yet, like a crate? Or maybe just like, I mean, I like that it gets held in like one place with the things holding up the bulb. But I do question, how does it break when Thomas like just simply stops? Like Thomas abruptly hits a barrier and then it somehow breaks. Are you sure that's how it works? Because I'm not really sure how it even works. But yeah, this episode is another one of those Thomas episodes that just really sucks. 0 out of 10. Don't be silly, Billy. Oh my god. Like, Billy is one of the ugliest looking characters in the entire show. Like, he's basically Charlie 1.0 before the actual Charlie showed up. And to be honest, Charlie looks a lot better in that purple livery. Like, yeah, it's still not good, but, I mean, it's not bad at least. And it's not ugly, like, unlike this douche lord. But, yeah, yeah, this episode sucks. It's a 5 strikes formula episode, just like Thomas's frosty friend. And I think I would consider this and the other 5 episodes to be worse than that episode. In my opinion, at least. 0 out of 10. Thankfully, this is the last 0 out of 10 on this list, but there's still more bad episodes we need to talk about. Toby's Triumph. Wow. Another Toby episode that sucks. Huh. Haven't seen these types of episodes before, where Toby is a self-conscious coward. I'll admit, the mud crash was pretty good, but still, Toby just sucks in this episode. And, I mean, I guess another thing I like about this is the return of Elizabeth. We haven't even seen her since, like, season 8, I wanna say? Season 8? I'm not sure. But, yeah, this episode really sucks. As I said, Toby is just a flat-out coward in this one. I mean, I guess there's the refreshment lady appearing, which is nice, I guess. But still, this one sucks. 1 out of 10. Edward and the Mail. I mean, I guess in concept, this is a good one, but execution, horrible. Just horrible. Like, what did they do to Edward? I swear to God, Edward's episodes just keep getting worse and worse. Like, okay, I wouldn't consider this worse than Edward Strikes Out. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's still a horrible episode. But this one is slightly better, I'd say. Because, well, Edward is not careless, and I'd rather see Edward be kind of a scaredy cat, rather than him being someone like James or Gordon. Too bad, that's gonna be a thing in the next season, which we'll get to when we get to the season 12 video. But yeah, this episode just sucks. I'm getting sick of these Edward episodes. 2 out of 10. Smoke and Mirrors. What the hell happens in this episode? I completely forgot. And I mean, I think the magician put it best. This episode is a big yellow sheet. Yeah, he really put it best. But I think there's only like one funny bit I enjoyed from this episode, and that's the Shazam. That's such a funny line. like when the magician is doing his act with Thomas. The Shazam! That Shazam line from Michael Brandon was hilarious. I really like it. But that cannot save the episode from being so bad. It's 3 out of 10. Thomas sets sail. Well, what a coincidence. The episode directly after the one I just talked about is somewhat better than the previous one. Yeah, but this episode still sucks. Thomas, Thomas, can you not see that the tree is grabbing the mast? And speaking of the mast, why is the sail upward instead of just simply downward, like you had in Henry and the Flagpole? Like, seriously, these Thomas episodes just get worse and worse. Well, I wouldn't say worse and worse, they're just probably on the same level of bad. If not, some of them are actually worse. But this episode, my god! Thomas is an actual idiot in this one, just like in most of his other episodes. 3 out of 10. Thomas and the Stinky Cheese. Good lord, how many Thomas episodes are on the bottom of the barrel here? This is probably Thomas's worst season of the entire model era, because there is an abundance of Thomas episodes here that just suck. And Thomas and the Stinky Cheese is one of them. Like, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's just bad. Like, Thomas, I mean, Diesel, Ari, and Bert are just still generic bullies, and Thomas is too afraid to go near them. Excuse me. Sorry. But seriously though, this episode just sucks. I really do not like it. 3 out of 10. Percy and the left luggage, or baggage, depending on your dub. I completely forgot what happens in this episode. Like, the only thing I remember from this episode is that Percy chases, like, Topham or something. I just forgot about this episode, and I do not remember what happens in it. That's all I can say about it. 3 out of 10. Hide and peep. Okay, I mean, the concept of this episode is actually not that bad, but it was executed badly. I mean, like, Thomas tricking Percy into thinking, like he found him. That just sounds wrong to me. That's something that season 2 Thomas would do, or season 1 Thomas if you were going earlier. But yeah, I just don't want to talk about this episode anymore. 3 out of 10. Thomas in trouble. How many Thomas episodes are we gonna have to suffer through this? Well, okay, this one is at least not bad. It's just mediocre, at best. I mean, Thomas doesn't want to get his last inspection, and then he just gets sick. I think that's all I remember. But other than that, this episode is just pretty forgettable. 4 out of 10. Wash behind your buffers. I remember a time a few years ago that I actually used to like this episode, but now looking at it, it's kind of boring and very forgettable. Like, Madge goes to check on Scarlet and Rheneas while they're getting cleaned, and then she keeps on saying, "Wash behind your buffers," which I forgot to mention is basically the old saying of "wash behind your ears." And it's just getting overused at this point. Like, Madge, I enjoy Madge in this episode, but Scarlet and Rheneas aren't totally out of character in this episode, so that's a plus. But this episode is just so boring, and Madge squirting mud all over Scarlet and Rheneas, despite the fact they just got clean, is pretty funny. But it just could have been better. 4 out of 10. Henry's lucky day. Okay, I mean, the music wasn't that bad, and I'll admit, Henry, like, wasn't too bad in this episode, but for some reason he has lucky trucks. I'm sorry, what? Like, that wasn't a thing in the earlier seasons, and it pretty much isn't a thing again in the next few, in the later seasons. And not to mention, Henry crashes into another truck in Henry's health and safety, but we'll get to that later. But for now, we're talking about, like, Season 11 Henry, which is fine, I guess, but other than that, I don't have much to say on this one. It's another pretty forgettable Henry episode, 4 out of 10. Duncan does it all. Like Wash Behind Your Buffers, I used to like this one, and I used to consider it as my favorite episode from the season. But now, looking at it, it's just very boring, to be honest. Like there's the funny line, "Listen to them blowing." Like, what was he saying? I really don't know what he was saying, but it's still hilarious. Listen to them blowing. I love that line. But yeah, this episode is just alright, I guess. I mean, Duncan's still in character, at least, as well as the other characters. Duncan getting all impatient is pretty in character. Grim, just like it's established in Duncan and the Runaway Elephant. And yeah, I'm pretty sure his impatience was established in Season 4, but I think it was more so established in those 2 episodes that I just mentioned. But yeah, this episode is pretty alright. 5 out of 10. Thomas and the Big Bang Theory. Okay, let's just get into the episode. Yeah, this episode was alright. Thomas, Thomas is kind of I have no idea how to describe Thomas in this episode. Thomas and the Air Gauge Engines go fooling around, scaring the hell out of everyone else, and it's honestly kind of a funny concept. And I think Peter Sam's crash was probably the best of these crashes, because we literally, like, after the narrator tells us what's happening, the narrator just stays silent and lets the crash play out. Like, I think the last, when was the last time we saw this? Like, something in the air or something? I have no idea. But yeah, this episode is pretty alright. It's nothing great, it's nothing bad, it's just alright. 5 out of 10. Thomas and the spaceship. I kind of forgot what happened in this episode, other than Gordon takes the mail and Thomas helps Percy back to the sheds. And that's it. That's all I remember. I mean, it's kind of forgettable, but I actually kind of like the lighting in this episode. It's the only one of the episodes where the lighting isn't the yellow filter. I mean, yeah, it's yellow filter, but it's nighttime and it doesn't look that bad. I mean, yeah, I just don't have much to say on it, other than it's kind of forgettable, but still, the lighting is pretty good in this episode. 6 out of 10. Emily's rubbish. This is a pretty decent Emily episode. Whiff is an interesting character, although I wish his backstory was explained. But this is the hit era, and no backstories are allowed. New characters are only for merchandise. Don't you know? Yeah, they seriously had that gimmick for Season 12 as well. But in all honesty, I think this episode is just pretty decent. I mean, it's the only I think it's another one of the episodes where Emily is actually in her Season 7 personality, and I don't think we see any signs of her grumpiness here whatsoever, like we did in like the previous seasons, like Season 8 and 9. Like, I mean, she was good in Season 10, but I think she was just as good as Season 11. As in Season 11. But yeah, this episode I don't have much to say on. Whiff is a good character. Emily's pretty good in this one. Overall, the episode's just decent. 6 out of 10. Thomas and the Storyteller. I really like how the how the writer is just a PNG, like in Thomas's cab. Yeah, prepare that for stock footage when we get to Saved You in Season 12. But yeah, I really like Thomas in this one. I mean, it's probably the it's probably my third or fourth favorite Thomas episode of the season, as there are 3 episodes in a row that we'll get to at this, we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, this episode is one of the good Thomas episodes. 7 out of 10. Gordon and the Engineer. Okay, it's pretty obvious why everyone loves this one. Like, it's the episode where Donald and Douglas appear, since, like, Season 8. Like, I mean, yeah, they were originally gonna appear in Edward the Great, and actually got an out-of-the-blue mention in, You Can Do It, Toby. But they never actually been seen since, Salty Stormy Tale? Bad Day at Castle Lock? I don't know. But yeah, this episode is definitely another good one for Gordon. Like, seriously, Gordon has been getting so many good episodes in this Hit Era run. It's too bad Gordon Takes a Shortcut was... Okay, I'm not gonna... I'll save the Season 12 stuff for when we get to that video. But yeah, Gordon the Engineer, pretty good. 7 out of 10. Dirty Work. It's a big coincidence how this is my number 5 on the list and James is number 5. Anyways, yeah, this episode, not to be confused with the Season 2 episode, is pretty good. I like what James sets out to do, helping his friends, even though he's dirty, but he doesn't care. I really like that. And I don't know, this might be my favorite James episode of the entire season. Well, I mean it's the only James episode of the season, but I might say this is probably one of my favorite James episodes of the Hit Era. Well, probably not my favorite James episode, like it's not my number 1 favorite of the Hit Era for James, but I'd say he was pretty good here. And I'd say his Season 12 episode is just as good. So, but we'll get to that in the next video when we get to Season 12. But yeah, Dirty Work is pretty good. 7 out of 10. Hector the Horrid. Okay, this is another episode that everyone loves. Because, well, Hector is so intimidating, and it's nice that this is not a one-time... He doesn't get a one-time appearance either. He appears in the next season in, like, James Works It Out or something. The episode I just mentioned earlier. But yeah, in this episode, Hector is just so intimidating. He's, like, Michael Brandon especially just goes all out in making Hector the scariest truck anyone has ever heard. Like, the keep away! Like, all those lines from, like, Hector, like, from Michael Brandon, just really overtake Michelangelo's dub. Man, how does Michael Brandon keep getting so good at narrating these episodes, or voicing these characters in the episodes? This is honestly one of Michael Brandon's best episodes for me personally. Just for Hector's roaring, and intimidating voice alone. Too bad he changed Hector's voice to Hispanic in the following season, again, which we'll get. Okay, I'll stop with the Season 12 stuff, but there's just some things here that just predict Season 12 is gonna happen. And also the foreshadowing with James skepticizing Hector and surprised that he's on his train really does kind of set up James Works It Out, which we'll get to in... Okay, I really need to stop with the Season 12 mentions. Okay. But yeah, this episode is really another really good Thomas episode. 8 out of 10. Dream On. This episode used to be one of my my favorite of Season 11, but I mean, it's not as good as I thought it was, but it's still really good. I mean, Spencer is great, Thomas is great, Thomas finding opportunities in his jobs is really something nice. Instead of Thomas abandoning his duties to just do something stupid, or do whatever stupid thing he wants to get. But no, this is literally kind of a subversion of this trope. Like, with Thomas finding opportunities in his job, like getting clean to be more shinier than Spencer, pulling trucks of stone to be more stronger than Spencer. Yeah, all that is really something clever that the Hit era has done for Thomas. I mean, I'll admit this is not exactly Thomas's best episode, but it is one of my favorite Thomas episodes of the Hit era. 8 out of 10. Thomas and the runaway car. What can I say? This episode is probably the best Thomas episode of the season. Like, this of course gives me busy going backwards vibes, and to quote the Unlucky Tug, I can easily imagine like this episode having the William Tell overture. I just wish it was used again. The William Tell overture hasn't been used since like the Runaway Elephant or Renee's and the Roller Coaster to be proper. But I really wish it was used here again. But I'm happy with the Runaway theme we got. Which is basically like that one Runaway theme from like Fish or something. Oh, speaking of fish, Arthur literally covers himself in fish. That was funny. And the "oh no" from Michael Brandon. Like, Michael Brandon is so good in season 11. Like, this is probably his best season in terms of narration for sure. At least in my opinion. But yeah, Thomas and Gordon's dynamic is also really good. And Rosie also gets an appearance, along with Thomas Sets Sail and I think another episode that I just kind of forgot about. But, excuse me. Yeah, Thomas on the Runaway Car, best Thomas episode of the season, 10 out of 10. And one of my favorite Thomas episodes in the Hit era, just like Dream On. Cool Truckings. Oh yes, you know the one. The one where Duncan rides with Madge. Like, seriously. This episode is so fun. I mean, it's not. I'd say it's probably as. I'd say it's probably as good as a classic series like episode, and it also has some comedy that feels like it was pulled straight from the Pack miniseries. I mean, yeah, the series does take place on the road. Like, the episode does take place mainly on the road, and Jack and the Pack also mainly took place on the road. So, yeah. This episode is my favorite to come out of Season 11 for sure. 10 out of 10. It's obvious why everyone loves this one, including me. And that is my ranking list for Season 11. Now to conclude, Season 11 was... I'm sorry, but it's probably worse than Season 10. Like the good episodes in this season were better than Season 10. It's good episodes, but the bad episodes of Season 10 were worse than Season 10's bad episodes, in my opinion. Well, at least for some of them. Like the bottom 5 episodes are what I would say are the worst of worse than Season 10's episodes. Like, Don't Be Silly Billy, Scarlow Storms Through, Ding-a-Ling, Thomas in the Lighthouse, and Sir Handel in Charge are all pretty bad episodes because for Sir Handel in Charge, nothing happens. For Scarlowy Storms Through, Scarlowy is scared of rain and thunder. For Ding-a-Ling, it's absolutely excruciatingly annoying. For Thomas in the Lighthouse, Thomas is just once again an idiot, and it's probably put as worse here so far. And for Don't Be Silly Billy, it's a 5 strikes formula. No wonder people hate these types of episodes. They're so bad. But anyway, like, seriously, I probably might consider this the worst of the hit era so far. We haven't even got to season 12 yet, but still, I thank you guys for watching this video as always, and I will see you guys for season 12, the last of the model era. Bye bye.